Well, hello, and thank you for joining us. And as you can see on the screen, today it's all about the Everton versus Chelsea match preview from OLBG. We're here to try and help you guys at home beat the bookies. I'm delighted to say I'm joined this evening by a man who's been helping us beat the bookies for most of the season so far. Gio, you'll be delighted to know at the end of next week we're giving the head-to-head records, and you and the OLBG members who's in profit, who's not. Gio's a little bit ahead, I think, at the moment. But hi, Gio, how are you?
Oh, not too bad, thank you. A bit of pressure now you've said that.
Well, listen, we've got to be accountable. That's what we said all along. The OLBG members have been watching these videos, and non-members, and they want to know who's ahead. But you're both in profit, I think, looking at things. But we'll go into a bit more detail about that next week. But this game, it's a difficult one to start with if we want to beat the bookies. Everton, obviously, they've suffered a little bit with the issues around off-the-field activities around John Stones. And Chelsea, probably the exact same reason. I mean, this is the John Stones derby. Just get a quick take on that, Gio. Were you surprised he stayed?
A wee bit. I thought Everton would have caved eventually with the money that was on the table, 35 odd millions. Substantial amount for a club like Everton who don't have a lot to spend. But fair play to them. I'm glad they stuck with him, actually. I think it'll be the best thing for John Stones to have at least another year at Everton, especially with Euro 2016. He's got a chance of making that squad. I don't know if he would have got it at Chelsea.
I was going to say he needs regular first-team football, and he'll be tested against the best. So I suppose the first thing we've got to assess is the two teams going into this game. It's been well documented Chelsea's start to the season, Gio. We'll touch on them first. I know they're the visitors, and it's no disrespect to Everton, but Chelsea's title charge, if you like, or attempted charge, it's going to hang on these next 5 games, isn't it? If they don't pick up form, it's gone.
It's a struggle already. It's a title crawl, really, isn't it? Their big players are not performing. Costa, Hazard, Matic, Fabregas. Their whole defence, really, they're all just a bit flat. I would question if it's maybe a little bit of fatigue with the whole tours they had after the season as well as before the season. Spurs are another one that did the tours, and they're not exactly setting the world alight. Whereas Man City, Fernandinho has been talking about his training and getting bang on, but Chelsea are struggling, and I certainly am going to be thinking about that when I look at this game.
Well, I'll give it away a little bit early, but the OLBG members are backing Chelsea. Now, I know you yourself don't tend to go for the outrights. You've picked a scorer in this game. But what's your view on Everton in this? They're at home. Obviously, last season we saw that crazy game. It was 3-6 to Chelsea. What's your view on Everton this season? Do you think we've seen the best of them yet?
I don't know. They're the hard team to call, actually, and that's one reason I'm probably staying away from the outright markets. I find Everton really tough to call. But obviously, put on the forum a good point. The last 3 times they beat Chelsea, they haven't conceded, and that's played in my mind a wee bit today because there's a really good point to make. And Chelsea haven't looked sharp in front of goal. I think Pedro might be the key man for Chelsea in this fixture, actually, because Hazard's come in for criticism from his Belgium coach Wilmots about his performances in the last couple of games. I haven't seen his performances, but if someone knows Hazard better than Mourinho, it's his Belgian coach.
Yeah, certainly interesting. I mean, I watched a bit of the Spanish game, and Diego Costa didn't catch the eye at all to my unprofessionally trained eye, but needless to say, he didn't get on the score sheet. So he's 4-1 first goal scorer, short as 7-2 in places for this game. So I'd be avoiding that. Now, these are some of the stats we've pulled up. It's not a particularly dirty game. You've got an average of about 3.6 cards per match, if you like those sort of markets. Gio has tipped on those before. The average goals, Gio, we think this is a little bit out of kilter because of that crazy 9-goal game previously. You wouldn't fancy an over or under on this one you've not given us for this week?
I wouldn't touch it simply because, like I said, Everton have kept clean sheets, but you have to remember last season, like you said, a 6-3, but that game was also a fiery one as well. That's when Diego Costa introduced himself to English football and was mocking Coleman for his own goal and looked like he was going to deck every Everton defender as well. That's when everybody realised he was a bit of a crazy one, but he needs that fire in his belly this weekend, actually, because, like you said, he's even on his international period, he's not looked as Diego Costa was seen last season.
I think it's unfair to say that Everton haven't had internationals away on duty either, so I'm not going to use tiredness as an angle. but the OLBG members in their comments when they're backing Chelsea, they just seem confident that the champions are going to get back to the standard they were once at. Do you think a game like this is the chance to turn the corner? If they can go irk out 3 points, do you think they have to play well, or do you think the result matters and everything else goes?
I think we'll see classic Mourinho and maybe try and just get the 3 points, and the performance can wait. We all know Mourinho's all about getting the 1-0s and the 2-0s and just grinding out results, and I think he has to do that at Goodison Park, because if you go there and open up, Everton can hit any team. We've seen big teams go there, even under Moyes, struggle, and I think they might again on Saturday, actually, and you can see that on the screen.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gio is trying to beat the bookies this week with an old friend. He failed him against Spurs, I seem to remember, Gio, but you're confident that around the 27-10 mark for an anytime goal scorer bet, Lukaku can do the business. He's obviously going to have a point to prove against Mr. Mourinho.
Yeah, he's got that point, but it's also Chelsea's back line. They're so vulnerable right now, aren't they? None of those defenders are playing well. The transfer deadline day, Mourinho was scrapping around for a defender because he couldn't get Stones, but he was looking at, Reading for a centre back and that. So it says to me that he's got no faith in his centre back, so he's worried at the very least. And Lukaku, he doesn't do well at Goodison Park. I was looking at his stats, and his goals tend to come away from home. But when you play Chelsea, I look at that even though you're playing at home, you're going to have the away set up formation, if you like, because Chelsea are going to be so dominant in possession. You're going to have that counter-attack and play at home. There's only a few teams who'll do that against. Chelsea's one of them, and I'm hoping Lukaku is going to do it for me. That's a massive price for any home side's main striker to score at any time in the game. That's a huge price. It's a lot better value than looking at.
Yeah, I'll give you the live price as such as we film now. It's 13-5 with Betfair and Paddy Power anytime. But would you be interested in even having an each way dabble on first? Because you think it's going to be a tight game. He's been around the 7-1 marker. Yeah, 15-2 best price of Paddy Power and Sky Bet for first. If you're a little bit greedy and want something bigger. Yeah,
it would certainly tempt me at weekends, so I like to have a wee anytime goal scorer accumulator for interest and fun, and hence why I pulled out that bet. But also, just in case it is another 6-3, I'm covered.
Hey, listen, it's on TV. We'd love to see another 6-3. I don't think any neutral out of the two of us would mind that particularly, or if you play the overs market, of course. The OLBG members, they're going to try and beat the bookies this week with a Chelsea win. They are not deserting Mourinho yet. I say that yet. Just a really quick question we've had in from a Twitter follower, Gio, just Bakes Mike, who's asking, Chelsea, do you think they're going to start changing the striker situation? Do you think you're going to see some different combos? Do you think it could be Costa and Falcao?
I think he's going to have to, isn't he? You can't, that old saying, an idiot is someone that keeps doing the same thing every day and expects change or whatever. I don't know word for word, but you get the gist, and he's going to have to change something. Personally, I think his change has to be moving Fabregas forward and getting him away from that central midfield role and letting Matic plus another in there to deal with it. And truth be told, I think he's going to have to ditch his favourite Willian. I've not been impressed with him this season, but he seems to still. When Mourinho named 8 first-team players that's been letting him down, he did not name Willian, and I was surprised at that because I thought he's been quite poor so far. But we'll wait and see.
Interesting. Good answer there, Gio. So hopefully you guys have watched this. Tune in. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, and give us your comments. Gio and me are not the only experts out there. We love you guys' opinions at home. We get plenty of tweets, but not enough comments. Just comment and subscribe, and you'll get all the Barclays Premier League previews sent straight to yourselves. You can click back through the old ones and see how we got on as well. But let's beat the bookies. Gio, thank you for your time today.
No bother. Thank you, Sam.
No problem. And fingers crossed those tips will land. We shall see. Who knows? Could get 2 out of 2 again.